Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's Mr. Reality, joined by psychic medium Liz Cross, and I thought we could dive into the Erik and Lyle Menendez story. And truth be told, don't hit me, don't yell at me. I have no idea about any of this, so we're going to dive deeply into them. But if I don't know the answers, please be gentle. Um, Liz, can you bring in the consciousness and tell people how this works when we're bringing in live people versus deceased people?
So deceased people, that is channeling, alive people, people that are living, that is a style of remote viewing. And if, they want to learn remote viewing, they can take one of your classes.
That's right. Well, we've got Lyle Menendez here, and now he's currently, I think let's see, he used to be married to Annika Erickson. They got divorced. Then he married Rebecca Sneed, but now they're separated, and now he's got a girlfriend, a 21-year-old, and I guess I don't know where this woman is from, but I wondered if we could bring in his wife, Rebecca Sneed, and just ask her kind of why you would be married to a killer like this. What's in her mindset? Let's see if I can get a Rebecca Sneed picture. I don't know.
Okay, yeah. Because I once read about this in a fiction book, John Grisham. I love John Grisham books. I haven't read one in years, but there was one where somebody was going on death row, and now you're going to be flooded with all these letters, especially when they're famous cases like this. And they
Okay.
get a lot of attention, a lot of female attention from the outside, right? And then eventually they end up in these relationships with these men or, these killers, and then they marry them. I don't get it. Okay, so I have her here.
What drew you to this murderer? Uh,
Um,
what drew you to this character?
and what drew you to Lyle Menendez? Oh, he was so nice. Okay, first impressions as I tap into her, extremely passive, extremely vulnerable.
And what did you think a relationship would be like with somebody in jail?
What did you think a relationship would be like with someone in jail? She is, I'm wondering, and I hate to say this, I really do, but I'm wondering if there's some sort of learning difficulty here, right? Because as I'm tapping into her, it's as if like it's not all the dots are not being connected up there. Um, Yeah, it's something not right there. So let's ask, what made you think, what did you think it was going to be like? I see she's like, I thought it was going to be the most wonderful thing. We talk every day. We write back and forth. I have someone professing their love to me. Did you send him money? All the time. Mm.
She, was she born with this learning disability, or, I mean, it seems like once a predator, always a predator, but I guess, does she know?
You know what caused you to have this like learning difficulty? She was severely abused when she was younger, severely. And it's okay, now it's making sense. When you experience lots of trauma when you are in your developmental stages, especially with your brain wiring, your brain connections,
Okay.
trauma can freeze your brain. Okay. Yes. Trauma can freeze your brain to the point now you are wired up differently and now you do have some learning issues. She definitely does, which, I mean, that's not her fault,
Right.
right? But she's very naive, very vulnerable. Um,
And
she,
she,
did you know that you would never live together? Yes, she was fully aware of that. Did you ever think that he would be released? I mean, she was hopeful, but there was always a possibility that he was never going to be released. And you were prepared to sacrifice your life for him, knowing that you may never, ever be married to him. Yeah, she said that was fine. That was fine.
have their circles in life intertwined in previous incarnations? I guess we'd have to ask her higher self about that, or is it a first chance meeting?
Yeah. Have you had past they've had many past lives together, and they're usually separate.
Huh. How
Or
did she,
something happens. There is definitely this lack of um s- sex component going on there. Whether he's been injured in previous lifetimes, he's gone away to war,
huh,
he's gotten lost. Uh, she's always waiting for him to come back. She's always waiting, and
lady in
she's
waiting.
always sacrificing.
How does she feel about this? I mean, he cheated on her, and that's kind of hard to do when you're in prison. Like maybe it's not.
Right.
But how does she feel about that? Does she feel betrayed? Does she feel angry?
How do you feel about the fact that he cheated on you? He has loads of women, okay? It's not just her. There are dozens and dozens. And why do you think he does this? Because he's a manipulator. So now she's starting to understand because he's a manipulator. Yes, she feels like she was used and abused. She was sending money. Are all these women sending money? Mostly, yes.
Huh. Are what do her friends and family think about her relationship? And has she kind of been like shunned because of it? Because you're a prison wife without being in prison.
Do your family and friends, what do they think about it? They think I'm crazy. And do they shun you? Oh yeah, totally. Do you still talk to them? She does. And do they ever say anything? No. They stop trying to advise her, support her. What did they say when they found out that he had been cheating? I mean, they it was sort of predictable. So let's ask him. Lyle Menendez, are you just manipulating and using all these women that write into you? Are you using them to sort of create an income stream while you're in prison? That is exactly what he is doing. Okay. This man is totally incapable of actually loving anyone. This is just a game to him. This is, a way to make money.
What about the woman that he's with now? The next, I guess, victim of his manipulation.
Does she send you money? Yeah, as and when she can. But, she's not the only one. There are dozens of women that he's writing to that are sending him money. And it's all about, oh, when I get out of here, there's a chance my lawyer's saying this is going to be overturned. This is going to end. I'm going to get out. We're going to have a life together. He is a master con man.
Uh, what is the mindset of these women? I mean, that are being manipulated. What do they get out of it?
So let's group them as an entity and find out. What is the mindset? Like, what do you get out of being in relation? See, that they're writing to multiple males, right? I'm not talking about the girlfriend. I'm not talking about the wife. I'm talking about just the collective here. They write to loads and loads of men because they want to feel loved. They want to hear, those words, I love you, I care for you. But do you all realize that it's never going to happen? I mean, they do understand that, but that's not the point. What I'm getting is they're just so desperate to be loved and to feel loved. It's almost like a drug for them.
So Eric has been married to Tammy Sakaman since 1999. Uh, what's this relationship like here? That
Hmm.
can't be a real new photo because I mean, looks like Gamer started out in 1999, but uh, what does she get at? And are they still, I don't know if you can even call it happily married or what's her mindset like? What's her benefit to this?
Your
Oh, there's a
benefactor.
more recent photo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she
Are
looks
you still
100% stable.
you are you still married to Eric Menendez? Yes, I love him very much. Do you send him money? Oh God, yes. You send him bucket loads of money. Okay. And were you in a relationship with him before he went to prison? I feel it was very brief. I don't feel it was anything uh long term. But he asked me to marry him on the day. We were scared. And you never divorced him? No, what's the point?
I don't know.
Um, do you see men? I see men all the time. Have you actually had any sort of like long-term lovers or affairs or, boyfriends? She has, even though you're married to Eric Menendez. Oh, yes, yes.
Have they
I
had
mean,
past life interactions?
have you had past life interactions? They've had many past lives together, but it's always like this mothering sort of role.
Huh.
Okay.
What's the deepest secret that Eric has confided to Tammy in maybe his letter or talking to her or in a conjugal visit? I don't know.
What is the deepest secret? It's about what? The deepest secret is about. They had plotted to kill the mother for years.
And I guess for Eric, is he also a master manipulator or does his brother Lyle take the cake on being the better one? Does he ever have women on the side also?
Well, when I did the mind probe of the two of them, and I don't actually know if Channeling Eric published it, to be honest with you. I think they were skeptical of publishing it just because it was, all the legal ramifications. But he
Allegedly. Let's just say
he
allegedly.
allegedly, yes, but
Then we're safe.
this Eric was totally manipulated by Lyle, right? Lyle was the one that talked him into it. This was Lyle's plan. Um, he also seemed to be very vulnerable, possibly a learning difficulty with him as well. Do you talk to lots of, I'm asking Eric Menendez, do you talk to lots of different women? No, he only talks to her. I don't feel like he talks to anyone else. So Lyle is the con man and Eric seems to be the one that's just he's very vulnerable. Even when I tapped into him before, he came across as very vulnerable, almost slightly autistic in a lot of ways as well.
Why would they contract into a life where they're going to remain behind bars for the rest of their life?
Let's ask their souls, why would you contract into a life where you are going to remain behind bars for the rest of your life? Well, so from a soul perspective, it was good for them.
How
It
so?
is a time to think and a time to grow spiritually. Certainly, that was the goal. Has it happened? Not really. You see, here we go. Souls making bad decisions. And I kind of get where the soul is coming from in a way. As we are in the here and now, it takes a lot of money to survive, right? If you don't have to worry about making money for survival, then you have what? All the time in the world, don't you? To work on your spiritual growth, your spiritual journey, whatever you're interested in, grow
But
your
how much?
soul, figure out who you are, be your authentic self.
How
That
much of that are you
was,
developing? I mean, you're in jail, you're in prison. Isn't your growth stunted at that point? Or have they now been able to develop themselves spiritually? I mean, it doesn't sound like it from being a narcissist and a manipulator, but
Have you been able to grow spiritually? No, this was a bad decision on the soul's part, right? And do you realize it was a mistake? Yes, we're not doing, are you going to do this again? Most probably not, because this whole thing of maybe getting a free ride in life so we can work on the processing and the self-love and all that. This was just one sort of idea that these souls had, and it hasn't worked out so well, particularly with Erik, because I don't think Erik has all of the abilities to process. I really feel he does have autism.
Uh, and how much longer do they have? Are they going to be in jail for another, I don't know. Will they ever get out?
No.
All right. Thanks, everybody. And don't write prisoners, I guess is the lesson learned today.
Well, I just don't see how it's benefiting from a self-love point of view.
Right,
It's almost like a we're experiencing love, but from a total fantasy point, not a reality point, right?
right.
And there's a big problem. A lot of people are in online relationships, and it's a total fantasy, feeling of love. It's not a realistic feeling. As in, the feelings are real, yes, but it's not the full weight of reality.
Good luck. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.